Hey guys, hope you're doing amazing tonight. Van City Prepper, Paul Andre, good to see you. Doing something a little different tonight. I figure I'd turn the camera around so you can kind of see what I see from my office rather than looking at me tonight. So, figure just, chill out. Everyone can talk amongst themselves, enjoy the view, have a drink, have a coffee, have a tea, whatever you're feeling for. You can bring up any topics you deem worthy, or tell me about how the gardening's going or the homesteading's going. Hopefully the bonfire does something besides just smoke. We'll see. I know a lot of the wood is wet on it, so it might not actually go. Maybe I'll run out and get it going again, but we'll see. Hey, Ren's Homestead. Glad to see you. Glad you could make it. Just kind of, like I said, turn the camera around, give you an idea of what my view is like in the evening. Rather than looking at my pretty face, you can look at the sights outside. Maybe we'll see a bat flying around. Maybe the fire will actually get going. Maybe the sky might turn pink. Doesn't look like it tonight, but we'll see. So I hope you guys have been doing amazing as well. I don't know. Can you guys hear the dogs next door? I've got my windows open, so I don't know if they're if the sound is making it all the way into the microphone here. Yeah, I don't think that fire is going to make it. Can you guys hear me at all? Yeah, you can hear me? Okay, perfect. I wasn't sure. I've got everything muted here. Yeah, so I just saw something flying around there. Must have been a big bug because I don't think it was a bat. And that fire, what a fail. But the wood was wet, so I'll use that excuse. Actually, you know what? I'm going to run out and see if we can get that fire going. Hey there, Huga Homestead. Welcome. Ren's got a puppy in the room. That's all good. Not a problem at all. Hey, Pat. Good to see you tonight. So I was just saying, I've turned the camera around so you guys can watch the sun going down. Kind of give you an idea of what my view is like in the evening. And hopefully we'll see some bats flying around. Hopefully the sky will turn pink like it usually does. I wanted to get the bonfire going, but it looks like it went out. No, we didn't get hit with the storm at all yesterday. We got some rain, but not any storms. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go out and see if I can get that fire going. All right, there we go. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I haven't seen any UFOs up here. You never know, though. Usually it's just the government spying on us. Oh, can I say that? I don't know if I can say that. Watch me get flagged for that. Silly stuff. Yeah, so hopefully this bonfire goes. I had to burn. We had a couple raised beds that we took out and they were rotten. So I threw them in the burn pit. So, usually when we do a bonfire with friends or family, that kind of thing, we actually use dry wood. So it actually goes. But I had some wet wood that I needed to get burnt. So I figured I might as well try this. Urban Homesteading Channel, good to see you. Welcome. Glad you could join us. We're just enjoying the view here tonight. I turned it around. I turned the camera around. So instead of being on me, it's kind of pointed out my office window at what my view is when I'm working or when I'm doing live streams and that kind of stuff. No, didn't try any gas tonight. Just cardboard. There's the odd time like when we've got a bunch of brush or that kind of stuff, when it's raining and we want the fire to go in the rain, and then I'll put a little gasoline on it and really get it going. But I didn't think I would need it tonight, but you never know. I hope you guys have tunes playing, some sort of music in the background. Hope you have a drink. Hope you're able to just chill out and relax, enjoy the view. Yes, we're facing west. I think the camera is kind of going a little southwest, but be like west southwest kind of thing. I can hear the bonfire from in here. There's some snap, crackle, pops, but a little flicker of flame that I see, but a lot of smoke. Yeah, Renz, we just won't talk about that right now. We'll just kind of leave that off. That way we don't have any issues. Oh, homebrewed mango peach wine on ice. That sounds yummy. That'd be nice and refreshing, I think, in the summer. I don't know. Can you guys hear the bird at all? Maybe I'll see if I can turn my mic around so you can kind of hear outside. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard those birds. It sounds like the one when when you were a kid and you had those plastic flexible tubes and you spun it around and it would make that whirling noise. That's what that bird sounds like. I can never remember what it is though. Oh, the mango beer. Nice. Yeah, making your own stuff is so awesome. Tetra? Is that the bird? Yeah. It's crazy you know, it's amazing here with you can kind of see out there all the trees we've been planting and bushes we've been planting, and we're getting more robins, more juncos. I'm trying to think what the other one is. Warblers. I think it's warblers. They're like yellow and different colors, really neat. uh, Lots of woodpeckers as well. Huge mix of birds. So it's amazing, but the disadvantage is, 4 o'clock in the morning, they start chirping and carrying on right outside the window. And you're trying to sleep, and the birds are going nonstop. I'll have to go out and try and video it. You won't be able to see anything, you'll just hear the birds. I still see a flicker over there at the bonfire. It might actually take off. We'll see. Oh, the big tube when we were young was a tetra. Yeah, but that's what this bird reminds me of, is that kind of sound. Yeah, we've had a few killed deers around here. Not too many, the odd one, but we had a lot more when I was back in Ontario. They were everywhere there. Here, not so much. So it sounds like next week we actually get to go pick up our Highland bull. We're so excited. He's an amazing little guy. They've been sending us pictures, and he likes getting petted and brushed and that kind of thing. So he's going to fit right in here. Bridget will love that because she loves going out and petting them and brushing them, and it's just so awesome. So we're going to actually go pick him up next week sometime, and we'll be good for a few years, I think. So that'll be just awesome. Really looking forward to that. Yeah. Yeah. He should be good to go with the ladies. Probably give him a little bit of time to, get to know them, wine and dine them. that sort of thing. So hopefully it won't take too long, because we're kind of like a month later than we planned. So hopefully it all goes well this year. Hopefully Freya gets pregnant this year, because she wasn't pregnant last year. And so that brought us up one baby short from what we were actually expecting and planning on. And that kind of hurts with all the prices continuing to increase and food prices and that kind of thing. And what else? We got friends coming this weekend, so it'll be a great weekend. We haven't had too many people come and visit. So if we've given you an invite to visit, come visit us. We'd love that. We'd really enjoy that, especially next week, because we're off next week. So you can come help us out, do some projects around the homestead. We'll feed you, give you some beer or drinks or rum, you know. Do we put a deer or two in the freezer? We try to every year. We try to get at least one put in the freezer. It really helps for, making everything go a bit little further, kind of thing. So instead of eating all the bull or Highland cows red meat right away, we can kind of shuffle between a few different meats, which is really nice, which is why we like the rabbits too, because instead of just beef, chicken, pork, then now we can do the rabbit as well, which is a nice change. Still tastes like chicken, but Oh, a couple of ravens. Ravens are pretty cool, but yeah, they can be bullies, take charge, is that sort of stuff. I love the big birds too. The hawks and the owls, and they're not always good on the homestead, but they're good to have around anyway. They get rid of the mice and the rats and all that kind of stuff, squirrels. So hey there, Remy, Rem's Family Farm and Little House in the Big Woods. So as I was mentioning earlier, I kind of decided to turn the camera around tonight. So instead of being on me, it's kind of looking at the view I have when I'm working or when I'm doing lives or on the computer, that sort of thing. So this is my view most days, which is really nice because I can see the birds, I can see the wind going through the, well, I can't see the wind. No one really can see the wind unless they're smoking it, right? But I can see the trees moving with the wind and that kind of stuff. And I just kind of love that. It's such a great view to have. Yeah, the fire on the left is kind of failing right now. It's it should actually be bigger and kind of like an actual bonfire like we usually have. But I was trying to burn some old rotten raised bed wood, and this is the result. I might go out and try and get it going again, but maybe I'll throw some good stuff on it. That might get it going. I don't want to throw any gas on it. Gas is too expensive right now. And then I'd have to open up the garage, and that's just a pain. You guys are like, no, go grab the gas. Then we don't have to listen to you talk. We can just enjoy the view. Yeah, that fire really isn't doing as well as I thought it would. Oh, man. I was like hoping for a nice, good bonfire. That way, if the sun and sky doesn't go as pink as it normally does, then you have something kind of. Some fireworks would be great to put on it. Get it going. Maybe I got some wood here that we some extra stuff we tore out from the basement when we were doing some renovations and I haven't gotten rid of yet. Maybe I'll go throw that on. All right, I'm going to go throw that on. You guys talk amongst yourselves or put in the comments what you'd like to talk about or if you have any questions or anything like that. It's the Marshmallow Man. Welcome. Glad you could join us. Yeah, I think I'll add a bit more dry wood to that and get that fire going. I'll be right back, guys. Yeah. Break the camera. What's going on? Yeah, so we should have a better fire going in a few minutes here. Be nice. I don't think it'll warm you up like, sitting around the fire over there, but it'll still be nice. And that reminded me when I was out there, I caught the whiff of skunk again. And Odin, when was it? It was like 2 days ago. I don't know whether he got in a tussle with a skunk or a baby skunk or tried to chase a skunk or something, but he got sprayed a little bit in the head. So it wasn't bad enough that it wasn't horrible, but it was like enough that we weren't letting him in the bedroom and we could smell it and that sort of thing. So but we washed him a couple times with peroxide and baking soda. I'm trying to get rid of the scent, but it's still hanging around a little bit. Dave Knight, good to see you. I hope you're doing awesome tonight. If you hadn't realized, I turned the camera around to kind of give you a view of my view, what my view is when I'm working or from the office, that kind of thing. Oh, thanks, Renz. This is I'm really grateful and thankful for, having this view where I am. And I've got, kind of to the left as well, just out of sight from the camera, we've got more of our bushes and trees. And then we've got like our big berry patch where we've got blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. And then further in behind the house is where we have the spiral garden there with the herbs and the view, herbs and the views, the herbs and the medicinal plants. So yeah, exactly. Just kind of creating the ambience. And then kind of on the right there, on the lower right, you can see the kind of looks like a box. That's with some whatchamacallit, the sides of the wood that we milled, the ends, the sides, the stuff you cut off. Hey there, little homestead by the beach. Welcome. Glad you could join us. So that there in the lower right corner, the box is one of our composters. And on this side of it is kind of the flower garden. So you can't see much of it, but there's a lot of yellow in the flower garden right now that's just off camera. And it's looking pretty cool. And then over behind the flower garden is where our rabbit colony is and the egg chickens. And continuing right is our greenhouse. But over to the left of the swing sets there, you can kind of see, kind of looks like a walled in area, fenced in area. That's our raised bed garden. So that's where we do a lot of our leeks. We've done a bunch of carrots there. We've done our snow peas. What else do we have going there? The radishes, onions. So we've got our St. Anne's shallots as well that we got from Mallory down at Quebec Homestead. They're there in that raised area. We'll probably next year take about half of them out and put them around somewhere else, maybe in like one of the food forests or that sort of thing, since they are perennial. So we don't have to worry about having them in the raised bed. We can move them somewhere else. Oh, it's so true, Renz, that, it's kind of like your own little playground sandbox where you get to create whatever you're feeling for and make it your own. So, there's sometimes where you're like, oh, maybe I don't want to do that because it might wreck the view or wreck the setting or whatever. It was like, oh no. So, over in the far trees there, you can kind of see past the trampoline. There's a fence just up on the top right corner of the trampoline. There's 2 bat houses still over there. So we decided that wasn't working for the bat houses because they don't like to be in the trees. They like a lot of sun. So as you can see here on the left, I decided, well, I'm just going to stick one big tree in the ground and I'll move one of the bat houses to this big tree right here on the left. And it's like, it's your property, your place. You can do whatever you want with it to create the kind of paradise you want. And I love being able to do that, especially with something like this where, you don't, if you don't like it, well, just pull it out and fill the hole in, and grass or moss or something will fill it in, no problem. You can always plant another bush there or something like that in the hole, that kind of thing. And then what else? Yeah, so we've got the fire pit over there on the left as well. Some benches around that we milled with the Alaskan mill and chainsaw. So you can watch the fire that's actually not doing anything right now. Failed again getting that going. I guess I should have used the gas. That's crazy. You would think that dry wood would have just like go, no problem, but it has not. You'll have to excuse me for a sec. My dog's eating something he shouldn't be, so I'm gonna grab him a little peanut butter so he drops really easy. Tracy, T Hand 141. Good to see ya. Glad you could make it. Yeah. Yeah, gas would be nice to get that fire going. But yeah, not rich, so oh, now the sky's going pink a little bit there in the top right. Oh, that would be great, eh? If I had like a Morgan Freeman voice, or what's his name, Dave Attenborough, then it would be good that I could talk to you while you watch this. That would make it so much more interesting, wouldn't it? How's the garden doing compared to last year? Not too bad. We've expanded it, so we made a whole new potato garden. It is on the far left out of view of the camera. And then just beyond the bonfire there, that's not really a bonfire yet, is where the potato garden was last year. That there is where we've done, we did a bunch of carrots, leeks, broccoli, cauliflower, melons, turnips, that kind of thing. And it's really just sand there. We continue to put manure and compost and try and amend it and make it better, but it's going to take a few years to get it really good. In the raised beds are doing pretty good. I would say as good as last year. So it's really good to see that. LP and Gardner Josh, good to see you guys. Hope you're doing awesome tonight. Was saying earlier before in this live stream that tonight I decided I'd turn the camera around and kind of give you guys a view of what I see every day out my window when I'm working, or here at the computer doing some YouTube stuff and that sort of thing. So yeah, this is kind of my view. So I figured it'd be nice to show you guys what it looks like when the sun goes down. I tried to do a bonfire over there on the left, but it's all rotten wood, so it's not doing too well. I added some dry wood, but I think I killed it when I did that. That's just it, eh, Marilyn? If you have a good voice for doing some of these videos and all that, it makes it really interesting. Speaking of which, Josh down at what's his channel now? He changed the name of his channel. It was Homestead Overland. It is now anyway, Josh has a great voice and doing such awesome videos now down in Appalachia and doing some tours around and that kind of stuff. But he has such a great voice for it, and it's so cool. Oh yeah, Mountain Roots. Mountain Roots is the channel now. It used to be Homestead Overland. Now it's Mountain Roots. But Josh has like such a great voice for doing that kind of stuff. It's really fun to watch and interesting as well. Exactly, Dave. Thanks so much. It's getting there. We're adding more stuff all the time. There's a couple new bushes kind of in this view right here that are native to Quebec. So we were able to plant them. We went down to our local nursery where Joanne is the owner. So we get to talk to Joanne nonstop and pick her brain on everything she has and different stuff and what works best for our area in different locations. And she's really a wealth of knowledge, and it makes a huge difference when you have a resource like that, being able to tap into that resource to be able to get the stuff you need for your location, your zone, whether what your soil type, shaded, sun, that kind of thing. So we've been continuing to add all the time new plants, new trees, and we just love it. Oh, stir fry with leeks. I love leeks. We try to grow as many leeks as we can because we love them so much. Doing like potato leek soup, or like you said, replacing onions with leeks is just awesome. Love it. It's so good. Oh, wineberries illegal. Okay. Planting them in New York is illegal. Yeah, there's a number of things that are quite bad. One of the ones that was recommended to us was hawthorn. However, thankfully, I saw it suggested on one channel. They listed a whole bunch of stuff to, for permaculture and that kind of stuff. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, I'm going to check into it. Well, apparently it's very invasive, but it does not by spreading its roots or that kind of stuff, but birds come, eat the berries, and then they poop out the pits, which are obviously the seeds, and then it starts to grow in multiple locations everywhere. So in some cases where there's birds who are visiting the same area, feasting on that hawthorn plant, they poop out the seeds in a general area, and the hawthorn grows up and starts taking over. But it also takes over and pushes the natural animals out, like the deer, and that kind of thing, because it has so many thorns on it. And it's not something where the animals can use it to hide or bed down in because of the thorns. So this hawthorn plant is quite bad for being invasive, and I don't recommend it for anyone at all. I don't know where it actually came from. I'd have to look that back up. But yeah, with some of the stuff that's it can spread too easy if it gets kind of out of its zone or into a different place. It's never good. So Ren's Homestead. Are you talking about the leeks there? I just missed that. Oh yeah, leek preservation. I love leeks. We almost freeze all of our leeks, or we'll can it with something. So when we make our potato leek soup, we'll put the leeks in with the potatoes and then a chicken broth and can it that way. So then when we open it up, eh, usually during the winter, we just add some milk or cream to it, heat it up, and then that's our potato leek soup. I don't know, guys. I guess I just should have used gas for that bonfire. Hey, Darren, good to see you down under Forgin Farm. Hope you're doing well this morning, right? Yeah. I'm just doing something a little different on the live tonight. I've turned the camera around just to kind of give you a view of what I see when I'm working or, on YouTube or on the computer. This is the one window kind of directly out from my office. And then the other window to my left looks out at another, basically the backyard. And this window looks out to the side yard. So I was hoping we'd have a nice sunset tonight. It wasn't too bad. We got a little pink, not a lot of pink. It wasn't stunning, but it was still nice. And the bonfire was supposed to do well, but it has not. Urban Homesteading Channel. We tried loofah 2 years in a row. We tried it outside, and it did okay, but I guess the loofahs, the bulbs, the whatever they were yesterday, did not get that big. So the following year we tried it in the greenhouse, and then when it ended up growing all over the greenhouse, but didn't produce any of the loofah or the bulbs or whatever they are themselves. Oh, you're working already, Darren? I guess it's that time, eh? You've already had your coffee and probably already had multiple coffees already if you're working now. Jean-Marc, the moon last night was pretty stunning. It looked like it was a full moon. I don't know if it was or not, but it did look like it. All right, guys, I'm going to take another break again. At 10:45 a.m. Lots of coffee. I suspected so. I'm going to run out and try for the last time to get that bonfire going. We'll see how I do. All right. Just chat amongst yourselves, and I'll be right back. Well, that was a fail. That's kind of what happens when you have a couple drinks. You throw stuff up in the air and then everything goes to hell. Squash in the bathtub. Who had squash in the bathtub? Someone was trying to grow some squash in the bathtub? Yep. When you get excited about new windows or new dishwasher or, kind of anything like that. I got really excited because I got new brakes on my truck. My truck's kind of falling apart and I had to go get some stuff done on it. And I was really excited because I had the brakes done, the oil changed, a new door handle because my door handle fell off. So I actually had a screw that I was using to open my door. I got the fans working because my truck was overheating when it would slow down in the really hot weather. So the fans on the radiator, there was a sensor that was kaput. So we got the sensor fixed. I was like, it's like a brand new truck. It's all good. Yes, now we have the bonfire going. Yes, there are definitely worse ways you could fail after a couple drinks. Uh-oh, we're not discussing car repairs. Oh, Mary Lynn, you're being nice about the truck. I'm sure you noticed some of the rust and the holes and that in the truck, but it still works great. It's got like 326,000 kilometers on it, and it just goes so nice and it works all the time. There's just, a few things it needs, a little TLC. So, but yeah, I love my truck. I would not trade it for a new truck or a new vehicle at all. I don't trust new vehicles, and there's stuff like, I have to rent new cars for work when I go traveling, and a lot of the new vehicles have all those sensors about like cruise control, or they change it won't let you change lanes without giving a warning, or crazy stuff. Or when you're doing the cruise control, if you pull up behind someone, it suddenly slows you down to the speed that they're going, so you don't actually pass anyone, which is crazy. So you have to keep watching. My truck doesn't do that. If I set it on 120 cruise, we're going 120 up hills, down hills, in behind someone. It's set to 120. It's going to do 120. That way, I'm not speeding up and slowing down and speeding up and slowing down. I'm going 120. I like it. Yeah, Darren, we use kilometers up here for distance. It's everything's metric here too, Celsius, that sort of thing. Except I always use imperial for anytime I'm building or shooting or that kind of stuff. So when I'm out at the range, I'll use yards. When I'm building stuff here, it'll be feet and inches. It's never meters or centimeters or millimeters. No, never. That fire is going now. I'm so happy about that. That is great. Now you can actually have something to look at because, the rest of it's kind of going dark. The sun's already down. Oh, Marilyn, the pool temp and height of snow. That's kind of what, we use as measurements. But our pool, we did have a St. Patrick's Day pool. So we've got one of those salt pools, and the chlorine generator for the salt pool stopped working. So it wasn't producing chlorine and it went green. So we tried to get a new salt generator for it, and that one didn't work. So now we just might have to do the chlorine thing for it. I was thinking one of those natural organic pools. Jean-Marc, if you're taking off, have a great night. So good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, so we're thinking about one of those natural organic pools, but we'll have to sell our above ground pool first, get rid of it, and then we'll put in a natural pool. So if you haven't seen those, it's almost like a pond that say they dig you in-ground pool, and then what they do is extend the top of that pool out, say another 5 feet or 10 feet or something like that. So you have the deep section of the pool and then a really shallow section all the way around the outside of the pool. Now, in that shallow section of the pool is where you actually plant all your lily pads and other water plants. And in the bottom of the natural pool, you put in kind of like a little bubbler. So it brings up the water from the bottom to the top and aerates the pool as well. Harvey Black too, good to see you. Glad you could join us. So what you have is a pool that's being aerated by this bubbler and the pump, which actually doesn't take much to do, which is nice. I've seen people run their pumps and stuff on solar, which would be great. And then the outside of the pool, like I said, where they have the water lilies and the plants and all that, that is what filters your pool. So all the nutrients that get put in your pool, say from like rain or, you fill it up from the well, everything that goes in there, all those nutrients and stuff that cause the algae bloom, well, that's what your plants feed on. So the plants clean the pool for you. So you don't have to use any chlorine. You don't have to use any salt, anything like that. So it's really cool to see these natural, organic pools. You have to look after them. You can't, when you do the plants, you can't say plant dirt or mud, kind of, because again, that kind of messes up your pool. So when you plant the lily pads and water plants, you just plant them directly into, say, gravel or sand or something that's on the side of your pool. So I'm really considering that. But again, it's another one of those projects that there's other stuff that's more important that we have to do first. And it's going to take, again, some money and time. We'd have to sell the above ground pool first. So we might try and get through the rest of the season just doing regular chlorine and then assess next spring what we're going to do. Yeah, exactly, Renz. It's like a really well dialed in pond. The plants filter it, and as long as you have that aeration and circulation going around, then they seem to work really well. I'd love to do one too, because then, for me and what we're trying to achieve here on the homestead with building more habitat and making it more, adding more of that biodiversity and making it so that, we don't have to use pesticides and herbicides and that kind of stuff. what we want to do is increase the habitat and the vegetation and the natural stuff so that we have more dragonflies, we have more predator birds, we have more of those good bugs and birds and animals, so that the bad stuff that wants to eat our plants or bite us can't thrive. So my feeling is, if we have the natural pool, organic pool, then hopefully we'd have more dragonflies breeding on the side of the pool, and then there'd be more dragonflies to eat the mosquitoes. Darren, how would the natural pool go with freezing? Actually, really good, because on most of them, there's nothing to crack or break. So it would almost be like a regular pond or a regular lake. On most of them, they put a liner that goes down deep, so that liner will actually move with the frost or move with any freezing along with the water and the ground. So you don't have to worry about the liner cracking, which is nice. And then what we've seen from a lot of people who have these natural ponds in colder climates like ours is then they use their ponds, or I guess the pools, as like a skating rink in the winter, which is really cool as well. So that has me really excited to kind of, again, get away from some of this chemicals that we're using in the pool and that, and get back to more natural one. No fish, just plants. So it's the plants that go along the shallow areas. And we've seen some where they do a pool and then they almost create like a tiny stream. So on one end of the pool, there's a pump that pushes the water out of the pool and down the stream. And then it goes through rocks and all the plants and comes out at the other end and back into the pool. So it kind of creates its own little filter. I did see one where they kind of left the pool and it got overgrown. So and then it actually looked like a real pond. And what happened is then they started getting more frogs and more aquatic life in the pond or in their pool. I guess I could say pond in that case. And then they actually put some, I think it was one pike that they transplanted from a river and threw in their pool to try and eat all the frogs and the other stuff that were now in their pool. So as long as you take care of it and don't let the plants take over, then I think you're going to be okay. Oh, look at that. The solar garden lights are coming on. Very cool. I like these ones for kind of the ambience because they kind of flicker like a flame, but they don't provide much light. And we wanted a bunch of light to be able to, walk down the pathways and stuff. Yeah, exactly, Darren. It's kind of like a biofilter. So all those aquatic plants take all the nutrients out of the water and keep the water nice and clean, which is nice. So you don't get those algae blooms and that kind of thing. Well, I didn't give you guys the sunset, but I don't know. I think you can agree this is a pretty nice view in the bonfire. I'm still hoping we see some bats flying around. We had the bat house that you see up there in this pole. We had 3 of them in the trees on the right, but again, the bats don't like that because I guess it's shaded so it's cooler during the day, where they still want it warm during the day, and it's still too close for other predators. So again, we put this pole up and put this bat house up. We still have two in the trees that we want to move and bring them out somewhere else. Oh, good to hear, Marilyn. Tracy, have a great night. Thanks again for joining us. Take care, eh? Darren, yeah, it definitely a rabbit hole you can fall down in. And I think the great thing with these organic natural ponds is you can probably almost incorporate them into like a permaculture setting, or anywhere. For us, we have very sandy soil, like everything you see out there. If you dig down 3 inches, it's all sand. So for us, water does not stay, it just drains away right away. So having something like a pond where we do have water nonstop in one area, where you know animals can take advantage of it, insects can take advantage of it. If we're splashing too much or it rains too much and it overflows out of the pond, then there'll almost be like constant water runoff to the surrounding plants and vegetation, which is really nice. Also, in a situation where there's a forest fire or drought, then again, we have a natural containment system for water as well. Well, that fire is doing better now. I'm quite happy with that. Finally. Hey, simply Nat Tay. You have to tell me how to pronounce that. But welcome. Glad you could join us. Good to see you. I believe we met over on Shadow Scout Swedes Alive a couple weeks ago there. So yeah, like I was saying to everyone before, instead of having the camera on myself tonight, I kind of turned it around and showed you the view from my office. Yep, we've seen you before. Exactly. Yep. Glad to have you back. It's so nice out right now. I can feel a nice cool breeze coming in the windows because I have those open. And the dogs next door are quiet right now. So it's really nice. Usually, because we have sled dogs on, I want to say about 5, 6, 7 properties around us. But not only sled dogs, but like boarding kennels and that kind of stuff as well. So there's very few times when we're not hearing dogs howling. Yeah, I bet that's true, eh? With the North American and Australian content about the water. Um, I think like in Canada especially, the amount of rivers, streams, creeks, lakes probably could not be counted. Um, it's astronomical. Like you can go everywhere and there's water or streams or lake or river, that sort of thing, where like you said, I don't think that's that way down under there. Oh, got a seminar going on, but hasn't started. So we have the pleasure of your company. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know what? I would go out and roast some marshmallows maybe, but I don't have any marshmallows. I could make some s'mores. Have y'all had s'mores? It's funny when you talk to people around the world and it's like, what's a s'more? Or no, I've never had a s'more, or that kind of thing. Oh, that's crazy. 4/5 of the year they're dry. Um, I know you guys get like the raining season and all that, but has the government or anyone tried to do, you've probably watched those other YouTube videos in like the Middle East and all that, where they talk about building multiple dams and multiple ponds, and you have like one of those creek beds or river beds where it gets rain once a year and it all washes away. So they've built the dams and they've built ponds and they've slowed the rivers down, so then the water stays there longer and seeps back into the surrounding ground. I don't know if anyone there's tried it or the government's tried it at all, but watching some of those YouTube videos on like regreening the Middle East and all that is pretty wild how they do that. It just amazes me that you can go from something that's a desert and get flash floods, and the water's there for like a week and then it's gone again. But again, then they dam it up with rocks and dirt and start mulching stuff and start planting stuff to hold the water and that. And it's crazy awesome. No, I know you guys are having issues with foreign owned land, like many other places, who don't really care about the environment or what they do. They just want the power, want the money, want control. You'd think a lot of the farms nowadays, though, would start getting into the regenerative agriculture, trying to, produce better soil, produce a better environment, produce their own fertilizer, that kind of thing. Yeah, environment second class to money. Yeah, it's crazy because it's been shown that a number of places, we have a guy here in Quebec who does a permaculture orchard, and it is more, at least I believe from what I've seen and read, it is more successful than a monoculture orchard, because again, there's so much stuff going on. There's more variety, there's more animals, there's more predators for those bad insects, there's more natural pollinators. It just, the biodiversity really helps create a thriving ecosystem. That bonfire's not too bad. I was expecting something bigger. We usually go really big on our holidays. Racing cotton on the driest continent on the earth. That's crazy. You would think that, especially doing rice, you'd want it in, again, like Thailand, Vietnam, that kind of stuff, where you already have that naturally occurring moisture, rainy season. You have no problem flooding the paddies or the fields and that sort of thing. It's just weird that you would try and do it down there. All right, guys. Well, I might wrap this up and go grab another rum and go out and actually sit by the fire and just enjoy it. We'll see how many bugs are out there and that kind of stuff. So I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you can, come back and drop a comment on it and let me know if you did like this kind of format. I can try and do something similar to it next time. I'd love to know your thoughts and feelings on this kind of stuff. So thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you soon. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. It's just amazing. Surprise for all in chat after the stream. What? I got a surprise. Do I? Go for it. What can I announce? It'll be a surprise for me too, because I might have totally forgotten if there was something. You guys do like this new way? Yeah, so maybe I'll try and do a different view next week. And again, maybe do another bonfire or do something else. I know the cord for my camera only goes so far, but yeah. Ooh, yeah. Giveaway. Everybody likes a giveaway. Gotta love that. I love free stuff. I love this community as well. This community is so awesome. I just makes me so happy. So thanks again, you guys, for joining me. Thanks, Harvey, for posting that. Be sure to check out Gray Man for your chance to win some stuff. And we'll talk to you all soon. And be sure to tune in for another one of these sunset evenings. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.